Well, as we just heard from the New York Stock Exchange, a lot of action on Tesla. Tesla getting a bullish call today from Piper Sandler, hiking its price target for the stock to $928 a share. The call comes after Bernstein said earlier this week that it sees no imminent catalyst for the company. And joining us now to talk where Tesla stock is headed from here, Galileo Russell, HyperChange Founder. All right, where to start with Tesla? Above 900. Again here, I think there were people that thought when this had hit, above 950 and we came back down, that we were not going to see this territory again for a while. Are you surprised by this move at all?
Definitely a little surprised at how fast the stock has gone up, but I'm holding all my shares, very long-term investor. But I think we're seeing a lot of the market cap leach from these other car companies like Mercedes, Ford, Nissan into Tesla as their financials are struggling and people are sort of realizing what the future is. And I think we're just seeing a huge re-rating of Tesla stock overall as like not just this random electric car company, but really just a truly transportation company and a tech company around that. And so it just seems like that is something that could continue for a long time. So I'm planning on holding on for now.
Yeah, gee, that makes a lot of sense because, if you look at what's going on, ask yourself if you want exposure to the car space, like you'd want the one that's growing, and then also against the traditional car companies, oh, wait, they're connected to fossil fuels. So it's a double whammy. So I just wanted to ask you, though, like, how do you value this stock, though? I mean, how do you even begin to assess?
Yeah, so Tesla's, they're probably going to do 35 billion in sales this year. The market cap's still around 160 billion. So it's only around a 5 times price sales multiple, which if you think of them as like a technology company building computers on wheels, considering they could grow at 50% for years to come, or that's sort of the guidance. I mean, I think this is not like a crazy valuation. And I think, people are just surprised because the stock was suppressed for so long and flat for so long. It's gone up so much, so dramatically that people are like, whoa, it's way too high. But then when you take a step back and say 5 times sales, something that's growing at 50% with all these huge growth opportunities over the next 5 years or even more, I think investors are just turning their focus from, oh, what is this quarter's sales numbers to like, what is the real vision of Tesla, and thinking a lot more long term and as a technology disruptor. And so that's why personally, like, I'm not trying to, time the top and like sell it now and miss the ride, because I'm really in it for like a much bigger disruption. And, I think we're talking about a potential of 500 billion to $1 trillion market cap in like a decade if they just keep executing. And so now we're at 150 billion.
And Gally, just thinking more broadly about the market right now, Tesla is kind of caught up with the Wall Street bets community, right? You've got the Virgin Galactic trade going on. You've got Plug Power now today is up 17% because everyone thought it'd be funny to buy options there. When you look at that kind of stuff that's happening on Reddit, making its way into like the actual market, I mean, I think it's an interesting phenomenon, but just kind of like when you think about sentiment with either stock you're owning or just think about the market more broadly, what does that say to you? Because I don't really know what to make of it, except that it's obviously happening and it's kind of funny, but at the same time, we had a guest on earlier who was saying like someone is buying Virgin Galactic shares at 30 right now, and it's unclear with $7 million in revenue why that stock should have gone from 7 to 30 in like 2 weeks.
Yeah, I need to look more into Virgin Galactic, but for Tesla, I mean, seeing all that crazy stuff on Reddit could be a sign of euphoria. But I also think that's just kind of like noise and not moving the market. Like I really try and focus on the fundamentals of the company and like Battery Investor Day coming up, like the sales, the real reversal that we've seen in the cash flow trends. Like I think this is really fundamentally what's driving Tesla stock. And I don't think, people on Robinhood or Reddit chatting about it is really what's totally driving it right now. Like I think there's just been a true, like Tesla's really executing on their business plan and the fundamentals have improved dramatically. And so that is really like the story of what's driving the stock price and how they're on the cusp of announcing this new massive ramp in battery capacity from, 50 gigawatt hours to like 1 or 2 terawatt hours in the next few years. That's like a 50x increase. Every other car company like Mercedes, Jaguar, they're all relying on third-party battery suppliers, and they're all announcing like we're delayed because we can't get enough batteries, and they're building like a fraction of the amount of cars of Tesla. And so Tesla is really, their move to vertically integrate and own the supply chain. People are realizing that this is really like a multi-year lead and a huge moat that they built.
So while we're touching on SpaceX, do you think, I mean, you're a big Musk watcher and a big Tesla watcher. Do you think that SpaceX should go public?
Yeah, I actually put out a video about this. Tesla's had a lot of struggles going public, but I think there's a huge pent-up demand for investors like myself, Tesla retail investors, people who believe in the mission of going to Mars, making space more accessible, and love what Elon Musk is doing at SpaceX, that would really love to buy that equity. And I think employees could significantly benefit by getting liquidity on their shares as well. And that's why I think SpaceX is more likely to do a direct listing versus a traditional IPO, use one of these newer platforms like Carta or Shareworks to basically do like a pseudo public offering and be able to get more liquidity for their stock, let people buy in, let employees sell. But this is actually something that I'm like working on right now, because I really wish, I just think it's such a shame that people who love SpaceX and want to go to Mars feel powerless and they can't invest in the story they believe in. And so that's like a personal thing that I'm really trying to change.
Galileo Russell, HyperChange CEO. Great to talk with you.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Hey investors, Zach Guzman here. Are you interested in learning more about the markets and getting the latest financial news? Well, then click right here to subscribe to our Yahoo Finance YouTube channel. Get the latest up-to-the-minute market analysis, big interviews in the world of finance, and information on how to manage your money every day wherever you are.